Good morning, everyone. Once again, welcome in geography classes. Today, we are going to start chapter number 3, rotation and revolution. Student, I hope chapter number 2 you have completed in your copy, all of you. And now, no doubt is there. Some doubts were there which I have cleared. I hope so that all the doubts are clear about the concepts and the question answers. So, students, you have to complete the work as well as till chapter number 3. And project work I will give you next week, that you have to complete. Already I will remind you, once again I'm reminding that project work should be according to the board level, because you have to face the board examination this year. So let us begin the topic, chapter number 2. So chapter number 2 we are going to read rotation and revolution, means the motion of the earth we are going to discuss here, and the impact on the seasons and day and night. This is the main concept of this chapter. So let us go through the syllabus, which concept we have to study. Rotation, direction and its effect, occurrence of day and night, the sun rising and sun in east and setting in the west, and coral effect, revolution of earth and its inclined axis effect. The variation in the length of day and night, and seasonal changes with equinox and solstice. So this is the syllabus which we have to focus. So now go for the first point in the chapter, that is rotation of the earth. So as we know well that the earth rotates on its axis, and axis is imaginary line on which we think so that it is rotating, and it is inclined with 23.5 degree from vertical. So it means that angle from that axis is 23.5 degree, that is not vertical, tilted towards north. From north pole it is tilted. So angle from that line of the earth or plane earth's orbit is 66.5 degree. I'll explain how it is there. It is given in your picture also, picture number 3.1. So suppose this earth is there, and this is that middle line, and this is that line of that plane of the earth. So earth is tilted like this. So this angle is 23.5, and this angle is 66.5. So like this the earth is tilted on its axis, and due to that we are having different characteristics, or that effects of this tiltation of this earth with the rotation, that we'll discuss. But first of all we'll go through what are the specific characteristics of rotation. So first of all we are going to discuss about direction. So earth rotates from west to east. Usually the sun sets in the west and rises in the east. So we think so that earth is rotating from east to west, but the fact is different from this one. It is that earth rotates from west to east. So it is the first and foremost characteristics, that earth rotates from west to east. And one more thing is there, that rotation is completed in 23 hours and 56 minutes and 4.9 second. So this is that roughly we are taking it at 24 hours. So this is that time taken by the earth in rotation. That's why we are having day and night of 24 hours. So I hope this concept is clear. Now we are going for the next topic, that is inclination on its axis. Already I have told you that earth is inclined on its axis and tilted in the direction towards the pole, and it moves around the sun, and the angle at which the earth is tilted is known as inclination of its axis. So suppose this is earth, and it is tilted by this one. So this angle is known as inclination angle. This is, as I told in previous module, 66.5 degree. It is 23.5 degree. So this angle is known as inclination angle, or this is known as inclination of the earth from its axis, and that is north, and that is pole star. So we are thinking so that it is tilted 23.5 degree from its straight or vertical axis. So now we are going to discuss the next module, speed. So speed of the earth is affected by the equator as well as poles. So if we are discussing about rotation at that equator, that is 1670 kilometer per hour, and the circumference of earth is 40,075 kilometer, which is covered by 24 hours. And one more thing I want to mention here, that earth speed is not same on the poles as well as on equator. So that we'll discuss in another module, but that thing should be clear to you, that speed of the earth is having different one on the poles as well as on equator. So earth rotates this circumference in 24 hours. So how 24 hours are there, I'll make you understand. It takes 24 hours. Okay, in another module, rotation causes difference in time over. So that heading I'll discuss, then I'll discuss this one, that how this 24 hours are completed. So next module we are going to discuss occurrence of day and night. So first one is not there in that slide, so I am explaining that one, occurrence of day and night. So earth rotates on its axis. So which part of the earth faces the sunlight, that is day, and which part is faces moonlight or reflection of sun on the moon, that is known as night. So earth rotates on its axis. So within 12 hours it is facing to the sun, and again 12 hours that part is interchanging. So 12 hours day and 12 hours night is there, that is known as day and night. And how it happens? It happens due to rotation. Already this fact you have read in previous classes, that which part sun is faced to the earth, that is day part, which part moon is faced to the earth, that is night part. So day and night depend on the rotation, and whenever that one part is interchanging, then days and night are also interchanging, and this rotation is continue, and that's why day and nights are continue. So now we are going to discuss sunrise and sunset. So students, usually that sunrise and sunset is the illusion of earth, or we can say so that sun neither sets nor rises. So you will say so that we have studied many times that sun rises in the east and sun sets in the west. So this is our illusion, or how this illusion is created, because that sun is never rising and sun is never set. Why I am saying so? Because that earth, which part of the earth is facing to the sun, that is sunrise, and which part of the earth is not facing the sun, that is sunset. So this is because of our illusion only, that sunrise and sunset is there. Otherwise the sun is having its own position, neither it is going upside nor it is coming downside. So how it happens? It happens due to rotation of the earth. So whenever we are having the zenith, means sun is there on the top, that is noon time, and in the evening again it came down. So it is all because of rotation of the earth, and earth rotates from west to east. That's why we are watching the sunset in the west. So let us go through this one. The part of the earth moves from the darkness into the sun rays, experiences sunrise, and when it moves from sun rays, it experiences sunset. So this simple funda is there. Otherwise sunset and sunrise is not any phenomena. Only that due to rotation we are feeling like sunset and sunrise. Otherwise sun is always on its own position. It is our illusion from the earth. So next we are going to discuss about Coriolis effect. So what is Coriolis effect? Refers to the force experienced by an object moving over the surface of the rotating body, such as earth. So while we are rotating, and the force which is experienced by anything on that rotating body. As well as earth is rotating and we are standing on the earth, so we will feel coronal effect, or that forces which we will feel, that is known as coronal effect. So coronal effect plays important role in movement of air. How it is important one? So we can say so that earth divides by the equator in two parts, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. So upper side of that equator is northern hemisphere, and there are that winds which are blowing, that blows clockwise, and below the equator in southern hemisphere, that winds we are blowing which are blowing, those are anti-clockwise. So coronal effect is the effect of winds which is forced by the body which is there on the rotating body. So earth is rotating, and any object which is standing on the earth will face the coronal effect or the forces. So if you are in northern hemisphere, that direction of the winds will be clockwise, and if you are in southern hemisphere, then direction of the clock will be anti-clockwise. So this is their anti-clockwise direction and clockwise direction. So we can understand with the help of that navel also. Suppose that this body is that earth and your navel is that equator line, so that upper side will be clockwise and downside will be anti-clockwise. So like this you can understand coronal effects. So now we are going to discuss about sun, the moon and star seems move from east to west. So why it is so? It is because of that motion of earth, because sun rotates from west to east. So that's why this illusion is there, that sun, moon and star is moving from east to west. As well as when you are traveling with the train, you are sitting on the seat, so you are roaming or you are moving, but it feels that you are still, and that trees and the other things which are watching from that window side, then it is looks like that opposite direction they are going. So in the same way, while we are moving on the earth surface from west to east, then other objects which are fixed, those appears to us that as they are moving from east to west. So next we are going to discuss about centrifugal forces. So it is an important matter. What is centrifugal forces? Means forces which are there from the center. So the speed of rotation has created the centrifugal force, resulting in the bulge in the middle portion. So as I told that speed of that earth is less on equator and more on poles. So like that we can have, so that earth and flattened top of the poles. So it is clear that rotation is affected by the centrifugal forces, and centrifugal forces means if you are going through the poles, then there that diameter of the earth is less, so there are more centrifugal force, and if you are coming on equator, then there is less centrifugal force. So now we are going to discuss about rotation causes difference in day in time over, difference in time over. So for understanding this concept, you have to understand that earth completes a circle, and one circle is having 360 degree, and 1 degree is equal to 4 minutes, as I told you in previous chapter. So 360 multiplied 4 is equal to 1440, divide by how much? Divide by that one 36. So that will come minutes, total minutes are there, and if we are changing these minutes into, if we are changing these minutes 1440 minutes into hours, so that will come 24 hours, and 24 hours is having 12 hours day and 12 hours night. So this is the concept, how that days and nights are decided due to rotation. This rotation complete 360 degree, and 1 degree is equal to 4 minutes multiplied by 4. 360 multiplied by 4 and 1440 minutes, then it comes 24 hours. So we can understand this one, that how this rotation is of 24 hours. So that is the logic behind the day and night is of 24 hours, neither 23 nor 25 nor 26. So 24 hours are there like that only. So last point we are going to discuss of this heading, the side of the earth. So we can say so that when earth is going towards the sun, then it is having heat, and while we are going away from that sun, then it loses heat or radiating heat. So that's why the days are hotter and nights are cooler. So the short rotational period makes that variation in temperature between the day and night. And rotation in combination with revolution, Earth's movement around the sun causes seasons. So rotation alone causes day and night and changes the temperature in day and night. Why? I told you, during the daytime that radiation is received, and during the night time in the open atmosphere earth radiates the heat and cooling down rapidly. That's why temperature falls rapidly in the night in compared to day. So while we are discussing about revolution, then and rotation both together, then it causes changes in the seasons. So why it is there? Due to that orbit of the earth is not spherical. So we'll discuss this topic afterwards, that how that seasons are being changed. So now it is the time to discuss about the topic, inclination of the earth on its axis. So you can say so that earth is not straight or vertical. Earth is having inclination on its axis by 23.5 degree from vertical line, and 66.5 degree from plane of the earth orbit. So like this the days and nights are not equal in during that whole year. So that's why you can understand this with the help of this diagram. Okay, if it is straight, then day and night may be equal. So another one, not mentioned here, let me check. Okay, it is here. So you see here that this diagram is showing that days and nights are not equal due to this tiltation. If it was there, then days and night were equal, but due to this angle, so this part is having, okay, I will do it again. So this part which is being shown here is not just half, it is more than half. So this area is having more sunlight and this area will have less sunlight. So like that, the days and nights are having changes in the time duration. Sometimes days are long, sometimes nights are long due to inclination on its axis. And seasonal change also will discuss about the revolution due to the position of the earth in its orbit. So both factors are there. I hope this concept is clear to you. Now we are going to discuss another topic, that is effects of inclined axis duration of day and night. So as I told you that day and nights are not equal in all places because of tiltation. So time of the day at any place is determined by the height of the sun in the sky. So if sun remains for more time on the height of the sky, then day will be long, and sun remains for less time on the height in the sky, then it will have less time. So as I told you, because of that inclination of the earth, these changes in the time duration is there. So next one, that if the earth did not revolve around the sun, that even then with an inclined axis there would be no seasons. So seasons are not a matter for the rotation, seasons are the part of revolution. But the days and nights are being changed due to inclination on its axis as well as revolution both, because earth changes its position in the orbit. Sometimes the earth rotates near the sun, sometimes the earth rotates away from the sun. So these conditions are known as perihelion and aphelion. So that we will discuss afterwards. So let us go through the effects of inclined axis on seasons. Means still we are not discussing about revolution, only we are discussing about inclination on its axis. So this is over already. So why do we not feel that motion of the earth? First of all, we are going to discuss this one due to Newton's first law of motion. As you are sitting in that train and you are not feeling that motion, but train is moving. But whenever you are watching out from the window, that things are looking like that those are moving. So that's why earth rotates from west to east, and the things are rotating from east to west. It seems to us actually those are still. So that stars, suns and moon, those things, it looks like to us that they are moving from east to west, but while they are still on its position, but we are moving from west to east. So that is the illusion created by the motion of the earth. So now we are going to discuss next topic, effects of inclined axis on the season. So as I told you that due to that tilted earth on its axis and revolution, but here we will discuss only about rotation. So we are having 4 conditions, winter equinox and spring equinox, which is there on March 21 and September 23. So these 2 times days and nights are equal, because that sun faces that earth equally in both part of that axis. But other hand, if you are watching through that winter season and summer season, that conditions are different. That is because of revolution. So let us clear by the with the help of this example. So you are watching here, these are the equinox, spring equinox as well as annual equinox September 23. So here that whenever the sun rays are coming both side of that earth for the equal time, so that's why days and nights are equal. But in other condition, if you are watching that December 22 and here which date, June 21. So on June 21 in northern hemisphere, day is longer one, and if we are discussing about December 21, then night is longer one. So in southern hemisphere it will opposite, because in one year the earth will rotate from its axis as well as revolution also. So in one revolution, that northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere also changes, as well as it rotates on its axis daily. So that condition will change in northern and southern hemisphere. So equinox, both hemisphere, the days and nights are having the same duration, but in northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere it changes days and nights condition according to that position of the sun facing to the earth during the time of revolution. So I think so this is clear to you. Now we are going to discuss about next topic, that is revolution of the earth and its characteristics. So we know well that earth rotates around the sun. Suppose it is the sun and this is the earth orbit, and earth rotates in this orbit, and that is known as revolution. So we can say so that earth rotates in elliptical orbit, and this motion is known as revolution around the sun. So during this rotation and revolution, both are having that complex effect on the environment. But here we are going to discuss about characteristics of this revolution. So first point is there that earth is rotating with the average speed of 29.8 kilometer and near about 100,000 kilometers per hour. So 60 seconds are there. So 29.8 per second, and if we are discussing about per hour, so 60 into 60. So then multiplied by 28, then it will be near about 100,000 kilometer per hour. So that's the speed of the earth. And second point we are going to discuss, when earth is closer to the sun, that gravitational pull makes the earth move faster. So we can say, so where sun will be near to that earth, that rotation will be faster due to gravitational force, and revolution will be faster. Why? Because sun will attract that earth towards itself. Second one, that period of revolution is near about uh, 365 days, 5 hours and 48 minutes. And this 5 hours and 48 minutes becomes 1 day in 4 years, and that is count as leap year. So leap year held after 3 years, so fourth year it holds, then February is having 29 days. So why February is having 29 days? Already you have studied in previous classes, but here also once again I am telling, due to that revolution of the earth, it is completed in 1 year by 365 days, 5 hours and 48 minutes and 45.51 second. So nearly it is 6 hours, and it is completed in 4 years, near about 1 day. So 24 hours are completed, so that's why 1 day is added on as February 29. So now we are going to discuss about fourth point, that earth's axis inclined to its orbit plane with the angle of 66.5 degree. The motion of the earth is from west to east, or the same direction of the rotation. So as I told you previously, that due to that tiltation of earth on its axis, that angle of its orbit is 66.5 degree, and due to that one, and due to that rotation from west to east, these two things are there which are having the impact, or which are the speciality of that earth revolution. So now we are going to discuss about effects of revolution. So first one is seasonal changes. So as I told you that whenever the earth rotates in its elliptical orbit like that, and sun is here, so sometime you are near the sun, sometime you are away from the sun. So seasons are decided like that. Northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, due to rotation on its axis and revolution, both are going on together. So that's why the seasons are changed. So northern hemisphere changes its position after 6 months, and southern hemisphere also changes its position after 6 months. So we can say so that while there is winter in northern hemisphere, there will be summer in southern hemisphere. Why? Because whenever the southern hemisphere will be with the part of, or will be near the sun, then northern hemisphere will be away from the sun. So if that any sphere is away from the sun, then feeling cold or winter season, and any sphere is near the sun, then we are facing hot or summer season in that particular area. So now we are going to discuss about inclination of axis and its seasonal changes. So since the earth is tilted on its axis, that seasonal changes are not abrupt. So if that earth will not tilted from its axis, then seasonal change was not possible, because that sun rays will be or maybe there equally in both hemisphere. So these day and nights may not change, and the seasonal change was not possible if earth was not tilted on its axis. So now we are going to discuss one more topic, that is perihelion and aphelion positions. So perihelion position when earth is near the sun, and aphelion when earth is away from the sun. So perihelion and aphelion is faced by the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere time by time. While that northern hemisphere will be in aphelion, then southern hemisphere will be in perihelion. Why it is so? Because the earth is rotating and revoluting. So which time of that year northern hemisphere is facing winter, same time that southern hemisphere will face summer. So opposite of this one will there, vice versa will be there in other conditions. So January 3rd of every year it is winter, so it is perihelion in northern hemisphere. So opposite will be there in southern hemisphere. So southern hemisphere there will be June, or there may be that sun rays with full of its strength. So this I told you, aphelion and perihelion means whenever that position of the sun is near to the sun and away from the sun, that those are known as aphelion and perihelion. So now we are going to discuss the next point, creation of heat zones. So this let it clear, perihelion is this condition and this is aphelion. So northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. So you can say so that 147 million kilometer, and this is 162 million kilometer. So it is away from the sun and it is near to the sun. So this position may be there for one hemisphere and this position may be there for other hemisphere. So which time here January, that time it will be here July, means that conditions of that weather or season will be changed. It doesn't mean that the calendar will not followed by the word, but that main thing is here that when India will face winter, Australia will face summer. For example, that India is celebrating Christmas in winter while Australia is celebrating Christmas in summer. So in December there is winter, and in same time December they are facing summer in Australia because it lies in southern hemisphere. So this is the matter of northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. So now we are going to discuss about, and another thing is here that 23rd March and 23rd September. So this is the condition when that distance from the sun is equal, days and nights are equal. So in this condition also we can say so that both hemisphere, northern and southern hemisphere, are facing same sunlight, so days and nights are equal. And another one when day is longer one and night is longer one. So 21 December and 21 June, so one hemisphere that days will longer and one hemisphere nights will longer. So due to this aptical path or due to this aphelion and perihelion position, that changes are there in the season in the found on the earth surface in northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. So I hope you understood this concept. Now we are going to discuss about different creation of the heat zones. So what are the creation of heat zones? Means spherical shape of the earth along with that movement around the sun causes difference in angles which sun rays fall on the earth surface. So as we have discussed in previous chapter that torrid zone, temperate zone and fridge zone. So fridge zone is found near the pole, means this is found from 66.5 degree till 90 degree, and then temperate zone is found from 23.5 degree till 66.5 degree, and this torrid zone is found 23.5 degree from 0 degree equator. So if we are discussing about first one, torrid zone, then that zone is near to the equator. So here what will happen? This zone sun rays will vertical, and then what will happen? That heat will be more. And if we are discussing about temperate zone, so compared to that vertical, here that sun rays little bit be slanting. So that's why this is known as temperate zone, because that heat is not as much as compared to the equator. And while we are discussing about fridge zone or slanting zone, then sun rays are quite slanting, and they are very rarely reaching to the poles. So that's why that North Pole and South Pole are having that ice throughout the year, because that sun rays are very slanting and these are reaching very rarely to these points. So what will be happen? Heat will be very less due to that ice. And why ice is not being melted? Due to slanting sun rays. So we can say so that due to these uh, rotation of earth and revolution of earth, or due to that reaching of sunlight on different places, different zones are being created, and those are known as torrid zone, temperate zone and fridge zone. Torrid zone near the equator, temperate zone between the fridge zone and torrid zone, and fridge zone near the pole. So near the pole that sun rays are very slanting, so that's why it is very cool, or icy area is there. Temperate zone, it lies between fridge zone as well as equator zone or torrid zone. So temperature is little bit less than torrid zone and more than fridge zone. But while we are discussing about torrid zone, it is near the equator, sun rays are straight, and that's why the temperature is very high. So I hope you understood this one, these three kind of zone. So you can understand with the help of picture. So if we are discussing this picture, so this zone is known as torrid zone, both side of the equator. So here sun rays are vertical. And if we are discussing about this zone, this is known as temperate zone. So sun rays are little bit slanting. And if we are discussing about this zone, fridge zone, so sun rays are near about very slanting, or not rarely they are not reaching to the fridge zone. So that's why that ice is there in the poles, and fridge zone is covered with the ice and temperature is very low. Temperate zone is better than fridge zone but less than equator, and equator zone is hottest one because sun rays are straight or vertical towards that area. So this was the concept for that one. Now we are going to discuss the concept of solstice. So solstice are their winter solstice and summer solstice. Means they are showing that time when that earth is facing winter or summer, or days are night, or days are long or nights are long. But if we are discussing about equinox, equinox means that earth is feeling that equator, or earth is feeling that equal length on both hemisphere, or sun rays is reaching with the equal length to northern hemisphere as well as southern hemisphere. So that comes two times in that year, that is spring as well as annual. So 23rd September and one more in March, that is which March? 21 of March. So these days and nights are equal, and solstice means winter solstice and summer solstice. So winter solstice we can say so 21 December, and summer solstice we can say so on 21 June. So this is also a concept when days are longer and when nights are longer. So now we are going to discuss the difference between that one. So solstice refer to the time when sun reaches the highest or lowest point. So the areas which are on 21 June in northern hemisphere, they will feel very hot, and which are then in southern hemisphere, they will feel very cold. Or nights will longer in southern hemisphere on 21 June, and days will longer in northern hemisphere on 21 June, and opposite will be there in both hemisphere, or vice versa will be there. But while we are discussing about equinox, then both the time 21 March or 23rd September, days and nights are equal in both places or in both hemisphere, northern hemisphere also, southern hemisphere also, days and nights are equal. So second point, let me discuss that word solstice derived from Latin word sol, meaning sun, and solstice means stand still. So when sun stands still in both hemisphere, that condition is known as solstice. Winter solstice and summer solstice. So we can say so winter is there and summer is there. So different hemisphere is having different heat, or we can say so that different seasons. So next we are going to discuss about word equinox, meaning equal, means both that places are having equal length of sun rays, that's why days and nights are equal. So next one we are going to discuss that it happens twice a year on June 21 and December 22. As I told, winter solstice and summer solstice. So one hemisphere will face two times, one time winter solstice and one time summer solstice. So and it happens two times, 21 March and 23rd September in both hemisphere, two times in a year. So fourth one, it happens during the summer and winter, and it happens at the start of spring. So in the March and September, and it helps in December and June. So I hope this is clear to you, difference between equinox and solstice. So now we are going to discuss the next topic, that is cycle of seasons. So angle of day and incidence of day and night. So it is given here, but as we are going from north to south, or in northern hemisphere from equator we are going upside, then angle of that sun rays will change, and due to the duration of the sun will change also. So on equator we can say, so days and nights may be equal, but while we are going upside, then days will be shorter, night will be longer. On that one poles, that days and nights are having difference. So now we are going to discuss that another point, that is cycle of seasons. Cycle of seasons means there are four positions already I have discussed: winter solstice, summer solstice, as well as equinox in summer and equinox in spring, in both September and in March. So we can understand this thing with the help of table, and how these seasons are being maintained. So table you can go through from a book. Let us go through on which date, on 23rd September. So we can go through 21 September, 21 March. So at that 90° north means north pole, and 90° south means south pole. So duration of day and night are 12 hours. 90° both side, and here 0° and 0°. Both side, either 23rd March or 23rd September, days and nights are equal all over the world. You can see anywhere else. So now we are going to discuss about 21 June and 22 December. So while we are discussing about North Pole, 21 June 24 hours daylight, and then here will be 0. So opposite of this one, winter solstice and summer solstice. So northern hemisphere position is change, and summer solstice will be change. So daylight is not being received by that southern hemisphere, while till 24 hours that daylight or the sunlight is received by the northern hemisphere. So opposite of this one will be there on 22 December. So here northern hemisphere is not receiving the daylight, and this southern hemisphere is receiving the daylight for 24 hours. So like that we can understand that these changes are there in that seasons due to that revolution of the earth. So I have make you understood all these conditions with the help of table, so you can understand with the help of table. So now we are going to discuss twilight in low and high latitude. So what does it mean? It means that phenomena of the dawn and dusk is experienced more in temperate regions. So what is dawn and dusk? Dusk the time of sunset, and dawn is the time of sunrise. So twilight is that time duration between the day and night. So twilight is the condition or that period when neither day or night, or a duration between the sunset and the complete darkness, is known as twilight. So that maybe according to that latitudes, depends that which latitude you are located. So the duration of twilight is large beyond 50° latitude, and in polar regions twilight lasts for as much as 7 weeks. at a stretch. So we can say, so as we are going on higher latitudes, that duration of that twilight is increasing. As we are coming to that lower latitudes, then twilight of that earth, duration of the twilight is decreasing. So one more example is given here. In your book, that twilight continues as long as sun is 18 degree below the horizon, and the duration of 1 hour and 12 minutes at that equator. So 18 degree means 18 into 4, 72 minutes. So twilight continues as long as sun is 18 degree below that horizon. So till when the sun is not going 80 degree below the horizon, means 1 hour and 72 degree 1 hour and 12 minutes at the equator. But while we are discussing about poles, it will increase 50 days long during the 3 months of alternating period of day and night. So very simple to understand. As we are going towards that equator, then twilight period will reduce. As we are going towards that poles, then twilight period will increase. Why it happens so? Because of increasing the latitudes, that twilight period is also increasing. So you can see here, as well as the number of latitude will increase, the twilight period will increase. So you can see with the help of this diagram, daytime and twilight. So this is horizon, suppose, and this angle may be there 18 degree if we are discussing about equator. So 18 into 4, because 1 degree is equal to 4 minute, 72 minute. So after sunset, 72 minutes will be there for complete darkness. But while we are going upside towards that poles, then it will increase, as well as we are going upside. So that angle of that sun will change due to angle of the latitudes, or latitudes will, so the duration of twilight will increase. So understood what I said, what is twilight period and how it is increasing, or why it is increasing towards pole and decreasing towards equator. I think so this concept is clear to you. So that's all for today. I hope you understood the topic. If you are not understanding the topic, then you can write me in comment section particular topic, then I can explain.